About 10 years ago, I found myself stranded in a city, without a job, family, or friends. Everything around me seemed to say there was no future for me there. I began to feel that coming to this city was a mistake, until something happened that changed everything. One night, I had a dream, so vivid, so powerful, it left me trembling. In it, I saw a lion, standing upright only on its hind legs. The lion was strapped in a tall glass cage. When I first saw it, I thought to myself, they must have tied the lions so they don't harm people. Although I don't remember seeing other lions, I somehow knew there were more. Above me, in the sky, I sensed supernatural beings discussing how to save me. I couldn't see them or hear their voices, but deep down, I knew they were consulting about my rescue. According to their decision, I was assigned a golden lion, young, fast, and full of strength. The lion carried me on his back and began galloping through the woods along a narrow path at an incredibly high speed. As darkness fell, all kinds of creatures began creeping out of the woods, and an intense fear and panic overwhelmed me. I was breathing hard, my heart racing. Yet, I managed to suppress any sound that might alert the creatures. Every creature that approached us growling would immediately fall silent and retreat when they saw the lion. Suddenly, a green snake leaped from a tree, aiming to bite me. Without breaking his stride, the lion threw me high into the air and caught me on his back again. Up to this point, there had been no exchange of words between us. It hadn't even occurred to me that I could speak to him. It was only after we had traveled a long distance through this frightening place that I began to wonder, why does he care so much about saving me? Does he love me? As I pondered these questions, the terrifying surroundings began to fade from my awareness, and my entire focus shifted to the lion. I finally asked him, "Do you have a wife?" "Yes," he answered, still galloping forward without saying anything else. Our communication wasn't through spoken words, it was through thoughts. He could read all my thoughts, but I could only understand his when he chose to respond. Why then does he care so much? I thought again, embarrassed, forgetting that he could hear me. He remained silent, but his silence was so mysterious that I knew there was much I didn't yet understand. I couldn't help but notice how gentle he was. I fell in love with him. The straight path eventually split, leading to a narrow, rocky slope that climbed toward a hilltop. To the left of the slope sat an old, shaggy, wicked lion, crouched as if waiting for prey. "We will not pass this way while you are with me," said the lion who carried me. He took another route toward the hilltop, where my destination awaited. We arrived, but I didn't care to see what the destination looked like. I was in love, and all I remember is standing between the trees on the edge of the hill, looking down, wondering where the lion had gone. When I woke up at 5 a.m., I was shaking, sweating and gasping for air, as though I had just escaped a nightmare. I lay in bed for hours, afraid to fall asleep again. When I finally felt calm enough, I called a friend and told them everything. But eventually I dismissed it as just another dream. It wasn't until years later, when life's challenges became relentless, that I began to reflect on it again. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and as the years passed, the darkness only seemed to deepen. Recently, a sister from church and I were talking about books. She mentioned one I had started reading years ago but never finished. She told me she had completed it, and that Jesus appears in the story as a lion. Thoughtful. A lion? Surprised. "I saw a lion in a dream once," I said. She wanted to hear the story, but there wasn't enough time, so I promised to tell her later. That conversation reignited my interest in the book, and I was waiting for it to become available at the local library. On the night of March 1st, 2025, feeling incredibly lonely as I stood in the ruins of my life, I prayed a simple, wishful prayer, longingly. "Lord, I know you are with me, but how I wish I could see you tangibly. Or maybe see you again in a dream, like in the lion dream. The next evening, as I was reading my Bible, a thought interrupted me. Perhaps I could watch the movie adaptation while waiting for the book. I hesitated, feeling guilty for pausing my Bible reading, but I searched for the film and found it. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, from the Chronicles of Narnia series. About halfway through the movie, a strong, powerful, yet loving lion appeared. Two children, whose brother had been kidnapped by a witch and later rescued by the lion, were walking beside him. I thought to myself, musing, I wish they could climb on his back. Just then, the lion stooped down and said, lovingly, "Children, climb on my back." I cannot fully describe what I felt in that moment. I didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or scream. The Lord showed me clearly that He is still carrying me on His back, still fighting to rescue everything I had lost, and that He has entrusted me with a task in His kingdom. Both the battle and the victory are His. I saw the depth of His love and how precious we are to Him as His children. In the movie, the lion miraculously rescues his people from their enemies and leads them to their destination, where the children are crowned as kings and queens.
In the final scene, one of the children, saddened by the lion's departure, stands at the edge of the city on the hill, wondering why he left, just as I had done in my dream 10 years earlier. Overwhelmed with emotion, I put my hands over my head and burst into joyful laughter, tears streaming down my face as I exclaimed, "This is exactly how my dream ended." I sat there and weeping with joy as the love of the Lord filled my heart. I couldn't find words. I saw God, and suddenly my problems seemed so small. I felt seen and heard by the God who is beyond comprehension. I found the strength to continue, willing to pay any price for Him to fulfill His purposes in me. I felt as though I had reached the pinnacle of success. I blessed the years of suffering that led me to this moment. I had walked through valleys of tears, pain, darkness, despair, and emptiness, but together they brought me to this sacred encounter. He became life-giving water in my wilderness. I drank from it, and my soul was refreshed. Ever since then, His presence has been enough for me. What's truly amazing is that when the Lord showed me that dream, I was in a spiritually dry season. Even then, He was there, loving me, orchestrating everything to fully capture my heart until none of the things I once longed for mattered anymore. I realized He was what my heart had been crying out for all along. Through all my ups and downs, I have witnessed the unwavering love of the Lord. Human language cannot truly express the depth of His love for His children. He is that good. All I can tell you is to taste it for yourself. You were made for something far greater than the things that surround you, and you will only find it when you connect to the source. Your soul is crying out for Him. If you have never put your trust in Jesus, I invite you to do so today. He loves you. He proved it by giving up everything to make you His child. The Bible says in Matthew 13:44-45, "The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field. When a man found it, he hid it again, and then in his joy went and sold all he had and bought that field." Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant looking for fine pearls. When he found one of great value, he went away and sold everything he had and bought it. Jesus gave His life to save you. That is how precious you are to Him. If you were the only person who ever lived, or the only person who ever sinned, He would have done everything He did on the cross just for you. You will know this once you let Him into your life. He will overwhelm you with His love, just as He overwhelmed me. God is in pursuit of you and will not relent until you are His. It is my greatest honor to testify to His love for you, and I pray that His love will unfold in your life. If you've made the decision to love Him back, tell Him. Tell Him you want to forsake your own ways and follow Him. Invite Him into every area of your life. Start talking to Him as you would to a friend, and allow Him to speak to you daily through His Word. Ask Him to lead you to a Bible teaching church in your area, and enjoy the journey. God bless you.